What is up? I'm your boy Brandon, and we're talking about Fire Force Episode 11. Y'all stick around. Hit my intro. Today's video is brought to you by Damn It Yacha. Keep taking those L's. Alright, so if you hung around past the intro, we're going to be talking today about Fire Force Episode 11. So it's the official Fire Force Episode 11 review. And if you guys haven't done it already, click subscribe, ring that notification bell because your boy needs it. I ain't even going to lie to you. Your boy needs it. But we're going to get right into the episode, and we're going to go from the very beginning. The episode is kind of breaking up into two parts. So we got the formation of, Company 8, and we're going to go into my favorite part where we talk about, Captain Benny Maru. But I'm going to get back to that in a second. So, in the very beginning of the episode, Lieutenant Hinawa is basically going on a recap and giving some filler. I think that part of the episode was filler, but I guess it was much needed because it kind of gives a little bit of depth to Obi and Hinawa, and I think it was needed. So basically, he recaps on the formation of Company 8. And basically explaining how it was formed. And the story flashes back to when Hinawa was in the army with the other girl. I can't remember her name at the moment, but she's in there. The other girl that's in Company 8 as well. It's not Sister Iris. It's the one that does all the real buff one. Anyway, the name is gonna escape me for a moment, but she's in there, and basically he's talking to his best friend, and explaining why she's there and everything, and you really get the depth of who Hinawa is in this story, because his best friend there, I believe his name was Toru or Tomi Maru. I'm probably messing the name up again. Is basically spontaneous combust. And like literally spontaneous combust while the dude was in the room, you know what I'm saying? And he hesitated. This dude, let me tell you right now, Hinawa is not the dude that hesitates. These last few episodes, I've never seen this dude do this. So to see him do this in the very beginning I think was great, because it shows how he got to that point. So the dude was sitting there begging him, his best friend begging him, hey, go ahead and put me out of my misery. He was like, he picked up the gun. He realized the gun wasn't baptized. I guess the gun had to be baptized. And realized that, he couldn't do anything. So that started something with him. So flash forward, just a little bit. You got Obi, at a situation where multiple people are human combusted, and I believe the captain of Company 3 was there, and basically talking to some old lady who I guess was a widow, basically explaining that the lady was explaining that you needed to go ahead and relieve her husband of his suffering. And the guy wasn't really trying to hear none of that. He was like, man, get out of my face. We're going to get to him when we get to him. And Obi, Captain Obi, was soon to be Captain Obi, wasn't feeling that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you have so many officers here. You can go ahead and, help this lady out and answer her request. And he's like, we're gonna get to it when we get to it, and I gotta do everything on a point system. Obi immediately sit there and said, that ain't right, so I'm about to go handle it. And in the midst of that, Hina was in the crowd. He's like, okay, well, cool. Since you're doing that, I'm coming with you. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt helpless about his situation with his friend, so he really wanted to do something about it. So they go off in there and they basically, they're looking for the dude. And they find him. He's sitting over there in the corner patiently waiting, you know what I'm saying, for a track for so long. Sorry. Thinking about 50 cents. But anyway, he's sitting over there patiently waiting in the corner. And basically, it's time to get to the action. So they go ahead, pop that boy off one time, and that's how they missed the starting, Company 8. He's like, yep, I like it. So they fast forward to maybe 2 years later, and basically show how they bought the place for, Company 8. He immediately thinks it's a dump. Everybody thinks it's a dump. Like their first impression of it is bad, boy. Obi, what were you doing, bro? What were you doing? Anyway, so that story kind of ends right there because they kind of pick up, back to, the current time, and they immediately go start their investigation to the evangelist, and this goes into the second part of the episode now. So they're going to into the Company 7's territory, and it flash forwards over to Captain Benimaru, and his lieutenant comes over and says, hey, we got a request from Company 8 to come into our jurisdiction, all that. Now, Benimaru off the bat, I learned this back in episode 10. He don't like red tape. He don't like all that bureaucratic mess. You can see he's real old fashioned. So he tries to blow him off. But hey, surprise, they're already there. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of already knew how he was, so they just showed up anyway. And this part of the episode kind of plays true to who he is, man. This guy's Captain Benimaru is basically, he's gonna be the powerhouse. Unfortunately, he's gonna be one of those guys like the old guy from Bleach that is just stupid powerful. He just got that. He got that vigor about it. You know what I'm saying? Got that little vigor about him. So basically, one of his people in his district, man, this spontaneous combust. And he gets to show off his power a little bit, and the community around him basically shows off how they look at this man. And basically he goes up, man, does all this crazy stuff. You find out he has basically a combination of the second generation and the third generation pyro techniques. So I guess I believe they called it combination combination pyrotechnic or whatever. Y'all excuse me with these terms, man. I'm just really just throwing them out there. If you don't know me, I just kind of just throw it out there. But anyway, he goes in basically just with a spectacular, show and everything, and just goes in and basically handles that boy hand, chest, handles him. You know what I'm saying? Shinra is talking to this old lady, and she basically gives him the rundown hey, this is our savior. If we were the spontaneous combust, we want to get handled by this dude. You know what I'm saying? This dude takes us out, no problem. So that's kind of wraps up the episode. You know what I'm saying? You got Captain Benimaru there. You got Captain Benimaru there, and Shinra gets to see him for what he really is, and hopefully not too bad, because Shinra wasn't feeling the boy like right off the bat. I even laughed at like episode 10. How Shinra looked over at that boy. He was like, "What the hell are you looking at?" Type thing. Why the hell are you smiling at me? I laughed at that. That was crazy, man. But that episode was pretty good. In its own way, that episode was pretty good. Even though, half of it was a flashback, it really did play death into, what makes Company 8 special, I believe. And also plays a little death on, Captain Benimaru as well. And I really can't wait to see what's going to happen in this next episode, because Company 8 is not in that district for no reason. They know something's not right, and they're going to investigate. Maybe they got a few of those little insects flying around or something, but nonetheless, it's going to be good, man. You guys stick around. That was my first review. Let me know how I did in the comments below. If I suck, go ahead and let me know that too, because I like constructive criticism. But I'm your boy Brandon, and this is Fire Force, and I'm out. See y'all later. Deuces.